to the third oral question for today, and I call on the Honorable Veena Bhatnagar to ask question 87/2020. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir. My question is to the Minister for Local Government, Housing and Community Development. Can the Minister explain to Parliament how will the Ministry ensure that the stated amendments to the town planning laws will be modern and current?
Thank you. I now call on the Minister for Local Government, Housing and Community Development, the Honourable Premila Kumar. You have the floor, ma'am.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank the Honourable Member for her question. The Town Planning Act and Subdivision of Lands Act were both enacted in 1978 and administered by the Director Town and Country Planning. These legislation provide a clear mandate to regulate land use and development in the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 42-year-old legislation needs revision to be in par with international planning standards. My ministry has engaged the services of a consultant to review these legislations. Work has already commenced, and we expect the first draft to be out by the end of this financial year, after which nationwide consultations will be conducted. Mr. Speaker, sir, the ministry through its consultant will carry out a thorough research to study the best planning practices and legislation used in other jurisdictions. The principles learned will then be incorporated in the amendments to suit the local planning context of Fiji. The amended town planning legislation will ensure that it is on par with the current and evolving development trends in Fiji. The legislations will be reviewed in such a way that it makes a bold changes to the facilitating of development projects so that we get quick results in the approval process. Mr. Speaker, sir, there are significant gaps in the existing legislation. For example, there are no provision in the Act which provides guidance on who can lodge building applications. In 2019, Suva City Council received more than 200 substandard applications that had to be rejected. There were issues with the structural designs. Mr. Speaker, sir, changes will be made to ensure accredited and qualified persons can lodge development applications to protect the interest of the public and the developers at large. Mr. Speaker, sir, illegal development is rife in the country. Penalties associated with the offence is very low and not an effective deterrent. The usual practice for the council is to issue stop work notices followed by proceedings in the court, which is a long process. The review will suggest other options to deal with illegal development. Mr. Speaker, sir, the ultimate aim of this revision is to streamline the planning approval processes and strengthen development control. Currently, all sorts of applications end up at town and country planning, and this is simply because our town planning schemes are outdated and it requires rezoning. So in that case, most applications end up with town and country planning. The review will consider decentralizing approvals so that only major development are forwarded to the Office of the Town and Country Planning, and this would allow Town and Country Planning to focus more on the core responsibility of strategic planning, such as master planning and revision of the town planning schemes. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have seen we've looked at a number of countries where the planning divisions have opted for new mechanisms of ensuring that the approvals are handled in a timely manner. And one example I would like to share with you is in New Zealand. In New Zealand, the planning office, they charge around 1% as the development fee. And then there is a timeline within which the approvals or consideration must be made by the office. And if it is not made within the time frame, then the office has to give discount to the applicant. So that way the officers are kept in check, that they have to respond in a timely manner and performance is also measured. Besides that, Mr. Speaker, sir, I also want to say that the revision will then consider what we would like to see, which is approvals given online. So online approval, how it should be done, the legislation has to make some reference to that as well, in terms of the technology that needs to be used or some changes that is required from the applicant or the agents who normally lodge the application. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity to respond to this question.
I thank the Honourable Minister for reply to the question. I give the floor to the Honourable Tigun Ronjo for supplementary question. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Minister also for the answer to that question. Mr. Speaker, the Minister had